Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So student, in the previous class, in this chapter, that is metals and non-metals, we were talking about that of the properties of metal and non-metal. And we have already seen that what are the properties of the metal as well as that of the non-metal. See student, if you talk about the properties itself, you will find that metals, they are very different from the non-metals in both of the cases, although there are exceptions are also there. Now, metals are having a tendency that they lose electron and become cation, while the non-metal, they are having a tendency that they accept electron and becomes anion. So, the cation and that of the anion, both of them, they combine together to form a compound, and that is called as the ionic compound. Yesterday only we discussed about the ionic bond. We have just started to understand the ionic bond, and there we have seen that the ionic bonding is done in which the ions, they have combined together. Okay, so cation and anion, both of them, they combine together to form the ions, students. Okay, so talking about the metal itself, see here we said that if this is an Na and Na atomic number is what, that is 11, so its electronic configuration will be 281. So what it will try to do, it will try to lose this electron, and ultimately by losing the electron, it will become Na positive plus 1 electron will be released along with it, because one valence electron will be lost by it. So now it will become 2, 8. Okay, so since it loses one electron, what happened? See, in class 9th we have seen that what is an atomic number. Atomic number is what? Number of an electron is equals to number of proton. Actually, atomic number is equals to number of proton, and which is what equals to the number of electron also. So we are knowing about it, the number of electron as well as the number of proton. Okay, now what we will find here is that if it loses one of the electron, so here the atomic number of the sodium is what? That is 11. That is what atomic number? It means this is the total number of electron present in the sodium. As well as 11 is what? This is the total number of the proton present in it. Number of electron, number of proton, both are equal. Now since this time in number of electron it loses one of the electron, so now it will become 11 minus 1 is equals to 10 electron. While here it will remain as it is 11, that is 11 proton. So it means one proton is more than that of the electron, and thus it will become a positive charge, which proves that it is having one more plus with it. One plus is what? That is the proton. So it is having one more proton with it. Okay. Now see, this is a sodium. Now what happened in case of a chlorine? In chlorine, the atomic number of a chlorine is what? That is 17, and it will be 287. So what happened here? It will try to accept an electron. Okay, why? Because it is having it is having 7 valence electron in it, and it need one more electron to complete its octet. So it will try to gain one electron, and now since it gains one electron, it will become Cl minus. Again, let us see how is it so. So chlorine is having the atomic number 7. 7 means 17. So 17 is the number of electrons in it, and 17 is what? The number of protons in it. So as it has accepted one more electron, so now it will become what? 17 plus 1 is equals to 18 electrons in it. And since proton is what? It is still 17 only. So 17 proton will be there. 18 electron and 17 proton is present here, right? So we can say that since it is what? It is having one more electron, that's why here it is a negative charge, which says that a 1 minus charge is more in the chlorine. Now 1 is minus, 1 is plus. So yesterday also we have seen that what happened when this metal and the non-metal, they combine together. So the electronic dot structure of the sodium is what? In the electron dot structure we only write or represent the dots of the valence electron, and the number of valence electron present in the sodium is what? That is 1. So we are going to write it here dot. Since it is represented by dot and it is representing the number of electron, valence electron, that's why it is an electron dot structure. Now the chlorine is there, Cl minus. Actually chlorine is having 7 electrons in it. So this will be the number of valence electron present in the chlorine. So it need one more electron and this one want to lose the electron. So what will happen? It will try to transfer the electron from the sodium to chlorine, and it will become Na positive and Cl negative. Okay. So the bonding which is formed between these two are what? That is electrovalent or ionic bonding, students. Let us see some more example of that. So formation of potassium chloride. Formation of potassium chloride, and in order to make the potassium chloride, let us see here K. K, the atomic number of potassium is what? That is 19. So its electronic configuration will be equals to 2, 8, 8, 1. Right? Now this will going to, it means if we look at the its number of valence electron, so this will be equals to 1. Okay, so number of potassium is here 2881. That is, it need one more. It is having only one electron as a valence electron in it. So the electronic dot structure will be what? It will be 1 only. Okay, and suppose it will try to lose the electron. So when it will try to lose the electron, it will become K positive and 1 electron will be loose. Now the electronic configuration will become 288. Now if you try to understand the electron dot structure of potassium is what? Is this one. Let us see about the case of a chlorine. So in case of a chlorine, students, how the chloride ion is formed. So this is a chlorine, again the same thing, 287. So what it will try to do? It will try to accept the one extra electron, and the electron, when it will be accepted by it will become Cl minus. Okay, chloride ion, that is 288. Okay, we can okay, now so it means here also it is balanced. Now how the KCl is formed, student? So the formation of a KCl is what? Now we will going to understand it with the help of the electronic dot structure. So potassium is what? It is having only one electron in its outermost shell, plus chlorine is there. It is having 7 electrons in its outermost shell. So there will be the formation of a K positive, Cl negative. Okay, because it has transferred the electron to the chlorine, and thus the formation of a potassium chloride occur. Okay. Now let us see the formation of a magnesium chloride. So in case of a magnesium chloride, magnesium chloride. So in case of a magnesium chloride, this is Mg, student, and the atomic number of magnesium is what? That is 12. If it is 12, it means 2, 8, 2 is the electronic configuration. Okay, now what it will try to do? Since in its outermost shell there are 2 electrons, so it will try to lose these 2 electrons. So when it loses these 2 electrons, it will become what? Mg plus 2 positive plus 2 electron. It means 2 electrons is released by it, and thus it will become Mg2 positive. Okay. Now if we talk about the chloride, again it is the same thing, students, and that is chlorine, Cl minus 287, and it will accept an electron and it will become Cl minus. Now let us see how the magnesium chloride is formed. So Mg, this is Mg. The number of a valence electron present in the magnesium is what? That is 2. So we will going to write here 2. 1, 2. This is what, student? this is the electron dot structure of a magnesium. And then comes the chlorine. So chlorine is what? So here, or we can write it as this is the one chlorine and this is the second chlorine, plus Cl and this is also Cl. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what happened? Why we are taking here 2 chlorine? Because the number of electrons present in the magnesium is what? 2. So it can transfer 2 electrons to 2 chloride ion. What will happen if suppose we are going to take only 1 chlorine? So only 1 electron will be transferred and magnesium will remain unstable. Okay, so it will going to transfer 1 electron to 1 chlorine and transfer other electron to the other chlorine, and thus formation of the magnesium chloride occur. So formation of a magnesium chloride occur. Mg2 positive, 2Cl negative, or we can write it will be MgCl2. Why MgCl2? Because we have taken here 1 magnesium and 2 chlorine. That's why the formula is MgCl2. We can simply write it first here. That is Mg2 positive, Mg2 positive, 2Cl negative. Okay? Or we can write it as MgCl2. So you have seen this is what? This is an ionic bond. Here complete transfer of the electron occurs, students, and that's why it is an ionic bond. Now let us see here with the magnesium itself that okay, we have seen the magnesium chloride. What happened if it will be magnesium oxide? So in case of a magnesium oxide, let us see how this formation will take place. So magnesium is what, student? Generally the electronic configuration of magnesium, you know that is 2A2. So again it will going to lose 2 electron and it will become magnesium 2 positive and 2 electron is released afterward, right? And in case of oxygen is there, so it will be 2, 6. So what will happen? It will try to gain 2 more electron and become O2 negative. Right? So one is actually releasing the 2 electron, another one is gaining the 2 electrons to become O2 minus here. Now let us see. That is magnesium is what? Mg plus oxygen is there, student. Oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is what? This is the electron dot structure of magnesium. This is the electron dot structure of the oxygen here. So this oxygen, it needs 2 more electron to complete its octet, and this magnesium wants to lose the 2 electron to complete its octet. Okay, so what will happen? Its electronic configuration is 286 and its electronic configuration is 2,6. So it will try to give both of the electron to the oxygen itself, and ultimately what will happen? There is a formation of Mg2 positive and O2 negative. Okay, Mg2 positive or O2 negative, we can write it in a bracket, that is O2 negative. Or we can say that there will be the formation of MgO, magnesium oxide. Okay. So this is how the magnesium oxide is formed. Suppose if we will take instead of magnesium oxide sodium oxide, then how the formation of the sodium oxide will occur, students? So here sodium oxide. So in case of a sodium oxide, sodium, what is the electronic configuration of the sodium? So sodium electronic configuration is 2, 8, 1. And what will happen? It will try to lose its electrons. It will become Na positive and 1 electron is released afterward. In case of oxygen, we know that oxygen is 2, 6. So it will try to gain 2 electron and it will become O2 minus. Now let us see how the formation of the sodium with that of the oxygen will occur. So basically this sodium is there. So oxygen is what? That is O2 minus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it need not one electron but it need 2 more electron. And we are combining it with the sodium. And we know that the sodium is having only 1 valence electron in it. That's why we will going to take the 2 sodium atom to complete its. So we need 2 sodium atom to complete the oxygen octet, student. So here it is sodium. Here also we will take a sodium. This is electron dot. This is also an electron. So this electron will be given by one sodium. This electron is given by the other sodium, and it will become Na. This will become Na, or 2 Na positive and O2 negative. Okay, 2 Na positive and O2 negative. Or we can say here formula will be Na2O. Okay, this is how the formation of the ionic bond or formation of the ionic compound occurs, student. Let us see some of the characteristics of the ionic bonding. How can we categorize? How can we understand that this bonding is what? It is an ionic bond. So the first one, that ionic bond are what? They are generally hard and brittle. Many times this question is asked that whether the options are given here about the characteristic, and the question can be asked that whether the given characteristic belongs to the ionic bonding or not. So the first thing that you must know about the ionic compounds, that they are what? They are hard and in the solid state, hard and brittle. Okay, it means when we break it, it can be broken into pieces. So they are hard and brittle, solid. Their melting point is what? Very high. High melting point. High melting and boiling point due to force of attraction, between ions, Okay, so they are generally having high melting and boiling point due to the strong force of attraction between them. Why is it so, students? Because they have combined together with the opposite ion. One is plus and another one is minus. That's why their force of attraction is quite strong, and we need more amount of a heat, we need more amount of energy in order to break the bond, and thus the melting point and the boiling point of the ionic bond is really high. Then the next one is, these do not conduct electricity. These do not conduct electricity. These do not conduct electricity in solid state. In solid state, as ions are not free to move. But conduct electricity in molten state. So high melting and boiling point is there, and it is because of the force of attraction between the ions, and yes, they are not able to conduct electricity in the solid state. Okay, why is it so? What happened when we dissolve the ionic compound into the water or into the molten state? Then what happened? It will be easy for them to get dissociated. Like if you take an example of sodium chloride, we know that the sodium chloride, it is made up of Na positive and Cl negative. So when you dissolve the sodium chloride into water or into any the liquid also, even when it is in the molten state, it will get converted into plus and the minus. Then the ions get dissociated from each other. So when we are heating it, only then the dissociation process will occur. And then next one, these are fairly soluble in water. These are fairly soluble in water. Yes, students, when we mix these in the water, it gets dissociated into the ions, and thus we can say that how and why the dissociation occur. It occurs because they are very good solubility with the water. So they are fairly soluble with the water. So these all was water. It is about that of the ionic bonding, students. Question many times asked that how the ionic bond is formed. What are the different characteristics of the bonding? Question can be asked that why do ionic bonding is having the ionic compound are having the high melting point? So you will write that since the ionic compound, they are joined together with a very strong force of attraction between them, and this strong force of attraction occurs since the two opposite ions, they have combined together to form the compound, and thus their melting point and boiling point is quite high. Okay. What is the name of the chemical bond formed by the transfer of electron from one atom to another? So it is the ionic bond, where the complete transfer of the electron occurs from the one atom to the other atom. If the sharing will be, that will be covalent bond, and the covalent bond is deleted. So you simply must know about the ionic bonding, where the complete transfer of the ions occur, complete transfer of the electrons occurs, students. The other question that can be asked, that how we can show the formation of a magnesium chloride. So right now we have seen what you will write. You will write the magnesium, you will write the chlorine also. Show the transfer, how the transfer of the electron has taken place there, and then the formation of the magnesium chloride. Okay, here one question is there, that in the formation of the question is that in the formation of compound AB2 atom, a compound formed which is AB2, in this formation of this compound, A gives one electron to each B atom. A has given electron to each of them. It has given electron to each of them. To B, both of the B together, both of the B. What is the nature of bond of AB2, and write any three properties? So you know that A has given to B, but B has not given, which means there is no sharing. But there is what? There is a transfer of the electron. So such kind of a bonding is what? That is ionic bond. Okay, and the bonding between them is ionic bond, and the compound is what? It is ionic compound. Okay, and if the characteristics are asked, then you will write is hard and brittle, having high melting boiling point, fairly soluble in water. Why ionic bonds are ionic compound are usually hard? It is because of the strong force of attraction between them. Okay, why ionic compound are having high melting and a boiling point? It is because the ionic compound, they have combined together, they have joined together with a very strong force of attraction between them, and ultimately we have to supply more amount of heat in order to break the force of attraction existing between these two. Ionic compound conduct electricity in molten state. Yes, when we take the ionic compound and dissolve in the dissolve in water, or even when it is in the molten state, it gets dissociated into their respective ions. So if it is magnesium chloride, it will be Mg2 positive, Cl negative, 2Cl negative. If it is sodium chloride, so Na positive, Cl negative. It is sodium oxide, then it will be Na 2Na positive plus O2 negative. So these are the different ions will be present in that of the given solution in the molten state. Ultimately, you know that the ions are what? They are like charges only, plus and minus charge. So these charges will help in the electric current to flow through it, and that is why in the molten state they are supposed to be the good conductor of the electricity. They are solid at the room temperature and somewhat hard. Yes, they are solid at room temperature because this time they are not in the ionic form but they are in the compound form. So ions are very closely held together in the solid state. But in the molten state they are separated from each other. They are in the form of ions itself. Okay, that's why they are hard and solid at room temperature.